Howdy, my name is Patrick Ede, and I'm a biomedical science major at Texas A&M, and I've been involved with crew for 4 years. My life here at A&M has been great, but life hasn't always been so great. I don't remember exactly how it began, but I remember coming into my parents' bedroom at night and just having incredible pain in my arms and my legs, kind of deep down, and we could tell that there was something wrong. So we went to the doctor, and he ran some blood tests, and we got some disappointing news the next day that I had acute myeloid leukemia. So acute myeloid leukemia is a type of blood cancer, and anything that relates to the blood has to do with the bone marrow. The bone marrow is what produces your blood. And so what AML, the problem with acute myeloid leukemia, which is abbreviated AML, the problem with that is that the genes of your bone marrow are wrong. The chromosome 8 and chromosome 16 switched arms, and what that produces in the bone marrow is that the bone marrow has the wrong instruction manual, and it'll start producing a ton of white blood cells, which are your infection fighting cells. There's not supposed to be that many of them, but the blood, since it's got this genetic problem, will just produce a ton of them. So the solution is kind of intense. Since it's a genetic problem with my bone marrow, it's an inherent problem to my cells. My cells just aren't, they don't have the right instructions. So what you have to do to solve the problem is you have to get into the bones, and you have to put fertilizer in there. You basically have to put ant poison. Actually, some of the treatment is mustard gas derivative, and so get in there and you just obliterate all the cells that have the wrong instruction manual. And so that's the first part of the solution. But the tricky part is that then you have to you can't just live if you didn't have any bone marrow. You wouldn't be able to produce any normal blood. So you have to find somebody else to get bone marrow from them and put it into my bones. Okay, so you have to have a match. Not just anybody can donate. Their immune system has to match yours. And so what that means in the end, numerically, is that when I was diagnosed and I needed bone marrow, the general population, there was only 1 in 50,000 people that would match me. There was only 1 in 50,000 people that could donate to me to save my life. So, as it turns out, siblings, people that are in the family, have a lot bigger chance of being a match. And so, my brother had a 25% chance of matching, and my sister had a 25% chance of matching. So, my sister, once they ran her blood work, found out that she did not match me at all, which left me with my brother as my only hope. But the good news is that my brother was a match, and not just any match, but a perfect match. The major feeling I felt was freedom. My body had been subjected to all this pain and all this disease, and after a long road, I was done with it. It worked, and I felt just free, just 100% free. So this last March, I celebrated my 10-year remission point. So I've been 10 years cancer-free. So what I find beautiful about the gospel, about the fact that Jesus died for me, is that means that on some level he cares for me. And what I learned through this cancer experience was that God cares for me. That it kind of drove that in as a stake. And then the other thing that it drove in is that he listens to me because He loves me. And I'm very confident in that. God has proven that to me through this experience. And that thought that God cares for me and He listens to me and that He answers has gotten me through a lot of things. Not just the cancer experience, but life afterwards. And so that's what I find beautiful about the gospel.